Welcome to part three. This is Live It, the final training of the quantum leap method. Whether you're live with me or catching this later, feel the weight of where you're sitting. You have released the first half of this year, and you're ready to actually hit. So let me know in the chat. Are you ready to actually hit your goals this year right now? Let me know because I am going to show you exactly how I go ahead and reach my goals and reset myself when I feel like I'm not exactly where I need to be. So let's dive in. This is part 3, so if you haven't watched it, go back on YouTube and watch the first 2. The first one is where we released, and then we learned who we are dreaming. Who are we wanting to become? Last week, we learned how to build it. We learned on the woman that we are installing, and we talked about who are you? I am the woman who. So we're going to dive in and to figure out where are all of the where are you going to end up? So let me know in the chat. Are you ready? Yeah? Yeah? Are you ready? TikTok, you with me? All right, here we go. We are about to dive in. So I want to know, what is a win that you have? Drop it in the chat. What is a win from each of you? Something, anything you did this week that the old you wouldn't have. Because we are people who collect evidence now. So let me know. Yeah, you were able to actually create the content. You were actually able to do the things. Okay, you held yourself accountable. I love that. I love that. Congratulations. And I want you to hold on to that feeling right now because we're going to make this daily. We are going to make this a daily thing. So let me recap the last 3 if you're just joining in. Before we build it tonight, I want to catch you all up because some of you are joining for the first time and some of you have been here all 3 weeks. And honestly, the regulars need this too because I want you to feel how far you've come in just 2 weeks. This is the quantum leap method, and it has 3 parts. Dream it, build it, live it. We've been running it for Q3, so you walk into the back half of the year as a completely different person than who you are right now. Let me know in the chat if you told yourself this was going to be my year this year. And now we're almost in July, we're halfway through the year, and you haven't been able to hit those goals that you wanted to hit. You haven't been able to do the things that you have wanted to do. Let me know. Is that you? It's you? Yeah? And that's okay because we are halfway through. We can reset and re-put ourselves in it. So this is the quantum leap method, and it has the 3 parts. So let's dive in. Week 1 was release it and dream it. We started with the hard truth. Regular quarterly planning doesn't work because it hands a new plan to the same old you. And your actions always snap back to your identity. So before we plan anything, we did the inner work. We audited the first half of the year with total honesty, what we did, what we didn't. And the real reason, we found our pattern, the place we keep being the fly slamming up against the window. And we released it. One strategy, one belief, one commitment that wasn't serving us. Then we saw the new identity. We visualized December 31st. So if you're just joining me, take a moment, close your eyes right now. You're December 31st. You are looking back over the year. What did you accomplish? What did you do? Right? We met the woman who already has what we want. We anchored her in our bodies and we wrote our I am the woman who statement. That was the foundation. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are being. So we decided who we're going to be. Let me know in the chat. I am. Week 2 was build it. We took that identity and built her a plan. We learned why goals die, annual thinking, setting goals we secretly don't believe. How many of you set yourself up for failure? You say, I'm going to hit this goal. I'm going to hit this goal and I'm going to do it. And then we don't do it. And we made everything past the honesty test. We built our dream life map, our whole next level on one wall. We found our one needle mover, the goal that makes everything else easier. We use the freedom funnel, marketing, selling, fulfillment to find our real bottlenecks instead of working hard on the part that isn't broken. And we built our abundance action map. We turned the big scary goal into a tiny daily number we actually can control. We put on the calendar and committed to one thing for 90 days. Whether that's you're wanting to lose weight, you're wanting to make more money, you're wanting to write that book, you're wanting to create the content, you're wanting to go live, you're wanting to do the things. What is that one goal that you are committing to yourself over the next 90 days? We also learned the big mindset shift that you have to detach your worth from the results. Go all in on the effort and treat every outcome as feedback on a skill that not a verdict on you. These are all skills that we have to learn. It's like riding a bike. When you first got on the bike, you didn't know how to ride that bike, right? You had to learn, you had to fall, you had to get back up and hop on again. And so when you're looking at trying to do something new, if you're trying to look at doing something completely different than where you're at, then we have to be able to get back up and try again. So now I want to talk about what we're about to walk into for tonight. Here's the hard truth, and it's the reason why regular planning fails. Why you start January 1st with all the goals, all the things that you're going to accomplish, and you don't accomplish them. Every plan you've ever made was executed by your motivation for about 2 weeks and then handed off to your habits. And if your habits belong to the old you, the plan dies. No matter how good it is, motivation starts the race. Identity and rhythm finishes it. You build a beautiful plan, and tonight we're going to make sure it survives contact with a normal hard. Tired Tuesday in August when you really don't want to do the thing, because the plan isn't what gets you into the goal. The plan on the days you don't feel like it. This is the unsexy. This is the stuff that when you are looking up how to make $1 million, or how do I make $10,000, or how do I make my first $1,000, or how do I write my book, or how do I do the things? They teach you all the tactics. They teach you all of the things that are part of it, but they don't teach you how to actually stick with it to actually accomplish it. That is what tonight is. So if you want to be able to learn these things, follow along and stay with me because we're about to dive in. Willpower was never the plan. Let me bury a lie right now. The lie that says consistent people have more discipline than you. They do not. I promise you, they do not. Willpower is a battery. It drains every day, and it drains fastest when you're tired, stressed, underslept, raising tiny humans, kids on us pulling at our shirt. And that might be most of you. That's me. If your goals depend on willpower, they depend on a battery that's dead by 2 p.m. That's why the first half of your year looked how it looked. You weren't weak, you were running identity level work on a willpower level power source. Consistent people have two things instead: an identity, which we installed, which was part one, and a rhythm, which we are going to build tonight. The rhythm carries you on the days the feeling doesn't show up. And family, the money is made on those days. Anybody can work when they feel like it. The gap between where you are and where she is made entirely of the days you didn't feel like it. So we are not going to rely on you feeling motivated. We are going to build a system that runs whether you feel like it or not. That's a daily method that we are going to dive into. So here's how you build your daily DMO, daily method of operations. One page, 4 layers, write as you go. So if you don't have a pen and paper, go grab one. Layer one, the daily non-negotiables. 15 to 30 minutes total. Do not build a 3-hour morning routine. That's just another plan you will quit. How many of you have started a plan, created this great big, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to eat the best breakfast, I'm going to get up, I'm going to work out, I'm going to go outside and go for a walk, I'm going to doing all of these things. And then You don't do it. You fall off. You stop. That is me. So this is the way I personally have switched it out and how I've actually accomplished my goals. Morning, stand in front of your map that you created last week. Fire your anchor. What was our anchor? We had a thumb to middle finger from part one. Read your I am the woman who statement. See the center as already done. That's your identity input. We brainwash ourselves daily on purpose, or the world does it for us by accident. We have to tell us who we are and who we are going to be. Don't let other people tell you who you're going to be. You tell yourself who you're going to be, and then you act accordingly. Then one needle mover action from your plan. Okay, so let's say you want to write a book. What's one action needle mover? I had my daughter write a book. She's 12 years old. She wrote a book and we're working on getting it published currently as we speak. What did I have her do? I had her sit down and write. I know it's a crazy concept, but we sat down and we actually had to write. We had to do the work. So here's the thing. What's one thing? What's one from your goal? What's one thing that you need to do today to accomplish it? Maybe you want to lose 10 pounds. Well, that's walking, that's eating healthy, that's cooking a meal instead of ordering McDonald's. Or let's say you want to build a business. Well, what's the one thing you need to do? You need to actually figure out, okay, what am I going to sell? What am I going to put out there? And then you need to sit down and actually figure it out. Your goal gets your first energy. So when you're first energized or when you have that energy, you have to be able to focus. And if you're like me and maybe you have a full-time job, I do not. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. And you have just the cracks of the day. Plan your schedule on Sunday. Be like, okay, I know when I'm making dinner, there's times where I have my laptop out and I'm doing things while I'm cooking dinner, or uh, I am put my son down for his nap. Then I'll go and be able to do something. Or when he is with his dad, then I know I'm going to work on this. So we have to have a plan. At night, one line in your evidence journal, create a journal, start creating evidence of how things are showing up for you. We can so easily let things go or complain or tell ourselves that it's not working when we aren't actually looking at the evidence. I've had so many conversations lately of people wanting something different in their life, and all they do is complain. All they do is complain. Everything is negative through a negative lens. Let's start looking at the abundance that's happening around us. Let's start looking at, okay, I have these negatives, but I also have a positive. We have to look at the law of polarity. The law of polarity states that when there is a negative, there has to be a positive. There is two sides to every single coin, and we have to be able to start looking at it. Let's not start looking at all of the negatives and always complaining. Let's focus on, okay, what can I do to make this happen? What evidence around me is happening and surrounding me? What evidence can I look at? What abundance is in my life right now currently? So have a journal every single night. Write down, okay, what evidence has appeared today? Layer two, we need to create our rhythm. Once a week, score yourself with one number. What percent of my plan led actions did I actually do? Okay, out of all the things I said I'm going to do, how many things did I actually do? Research says 85% of execution hits the goal. 85% of execution hits the goal. Notice what we track: execution, not feelings, not whether it was a good week emotionally. Did the action happen? Yes or no? Data, not drama. And this call that I have every single Wednesday is where that number gets witnessed. One distinction by stage. If you're earlier, track your activity. So if you're a new beginner entrepreneur, or if you're newly trying to write a book, or you're newly trying to do something, then track just the activity, not the outcome. If we're writing a book and we want to make $1 million by writing this book or becoming a famous author, but we're a brand new author, that's not realistic that we're going to hit $1 million within our first 30 days. So what we have to do is we have to track, okay, every single day I wrote 5 pages and focus on that for at the beginning as you're getting traction, as you're having momentum. You have to start tracking the reps you're doing because you don't have results yet and the reps are the win. You know how many people I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs over the last 7 years. Hundreds, close to 1,000. And here's the thing that I can tell you. The people who are consistent and actually stay in are the ones that make it. The ones who don't get overwhelmed when things go bad, the ones who don't quit at every sign of discomfort. And so when you are at the beginning, you have to be working on the reps and doing the thing. And if you're actually looking at scaling a business and growing your revenue and making it bigger, well, then you need to track your system's outputs and your team's numbers. Does that make sense? Not just your own activity. We have to become a leader of our business because at your level, the question isn't, did I work hard? It's, did the machine produce? Track the number that actually reflect the stage. Layer 3, your environment. Oh, this is the big one. Please say to listen to this one. Your environment is making or breaking what you're having in your life. So I have 2 questions for you. Answer them right now. What is one thing you're removing from your environment that feeds your old identity? Let's say you have this goal. You set this goal for yourself at the beginning of the year. And we're gonna forget about you not hitting that goal. We're gonna start new. So from day one, this is your January 1st, right now. July 1st is just next week. From day one, what are you removing from your environment that is stopping you from hitting that goal? Is it the people you hang out with? Is it the TV you're always watching? You're always watching TV and not doing the thing? Is it the not focusing on your mental health, focusing on your health? Are you not feeding in? Are you feeding in the negative and the drama and everything wrong that's going on? Man, in this day and age of the world, you can scroll through social media right now and all you see is negativity. Everything is bad and you can get sucked into it so long. And I'm not saying not to stay informed in politics and what's going on right now because it's so important to, but you have to set a timer and get yourself out of it because otherwise you go down these rabbit holes and you feel so hopeless at the end of it and you feel so overwhelmed and overcome with just stress. And you think everything is negative, but then I'm in other circles where I see people thriving right now in their business and in their life and what they're doing. And so we have to focus on, yeah, not everything around us is going great, but we can't change that. What can we change? What can we focus on that we have the ability to have action on, right? So we have to focus on that one thing. And what is one thing you're placing in your environment so that the new identity is the default? Okay, you want to write the book, you want to build the business, you want to do the thing, you want to create the content, you want to do the one thing. What are you putting in your environment right now that makes it easy to happen? So, for example, let's say that you put sticky notes all around you with I am affirmations, or you put a journal on your pillow so you know you can easily write it. If you've ever read the book Atomic Habits, he talks about habit stacking. So you stack your new habit that you're trying to create with the old habit or with the new habit you're trying to create. So let's say every night you brush your teeth. So if you're trying to start taking your vitamins, you're going to put your vitamins not in the drawer, right next to your toothbrush. So I brush my teeth, I take my vitamins, or I take my vitamins, I brush my teeth. So how are you, this new thing that you're trying to do, how are you going to make it so simple that you can do it? Let's say that you want to go to the gym in the morning, or you want to go for a walk in the morning. You want to start walking every morning for 30 minutes. Well, put your shoes by the door, pick out your clothes, the night before. Have it ready so when you wake up, and then you set your alarm, so you make sure you wake up. You wake up, you get your shoes, you put your clothes on, and you go for a walk. So I want you to look at what can I do to start making these changes? So I want to talk about why this matters. Identity work without an environment change is just willpower in a costume. Here we go. Willpower. We think we have to want it through everything, will our way through it. And that's just not how we can hit the goals. I went from being a broke single mom to building a six-figure business. And how did I do that? Not by willpower. You know how many times I don't want to hit the go live button. I don't want to have to record. I don't want to show up to trainings. I'd rather be in my bed sleep right now. But I know I have to do these things. This is part of how I want to build my business. I want to spread the things that have completely changed my life and help others them completely change their lives. So layer 4, the when I don't feel like it. So here we go. I want you to write this now. Well motivated, because you will not write it at 6 a.m. You will not come back to it. And if you're smart, you're going to follow along so that you can do this with me. Over the next 90 days, I am going to be completely changing my life through my health, through my business. I just watched someone do a $1.2 million launch in like an hour from content. It's just wild the amount of abundance that's out there, but we're so programmed to live in the negative and to stay small. And so here, so we have to focus not on the lack and all of the negativity. So follow along if you are wanting to get on this journey. You told yourself that you wanted to be able to accomplish a goal by the end of the year. So if you want to do that, make sure to follow and be a part of that. So layer 4, when I don't feel like it, when you don't feel like doing anything, your minimum viable day, the smallest version of your non-negotiable that still counts. 5 minutes instead of 30. So instead of writing for 30 minutes, you write for 5. Instead of walking for 30 minutes or an hour, you walk for 5 minutes. You get your shoes on, walk down to the end of your driveway and come back. Do something, move your body. Done messy instead of not done. Hold yourself accountable. Be committed to yourself. Your script, the sentence you say on hard days, decided in advance. Mine, I do not negotiate with a feeling. I move and the feeling catches up. I want you to write yours. Feelings will come and go. It doesn't mean you have to stick with them. Your person, who you text when you're about to quit. You have to have this. You have to know, okay, when I feel like I want to give up, when I feel like I don't want to do this, who is your person that you're going to call and who's going to motivate you? I had a friend, perfect story. I had a friend today. She reached out to me. She's working on launching out a retreat for single moms that they do once a month. And she did not want to do the things. Has all of the stuff done, but that resistance you get before launching out is so scary. And so she called me and we just sat down and we just started doing it together. And you have to have that person. You have to have that person because it's so easy to talk yourself out of it when you don't feel like it, or when things get overwhelming, or when things get scary, or that resistance comes up, or your brain, you're starting to self-sabotage. You're starting to tell yourself, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this. You can. It's like Ratatouille. If you've seen Ratatouille, anyone can cook. Anyone can hit their goals that they set out for themselves. It's just these things keep stopping us. And that's what we want to change. And that is what this is going to change. And so I'm talking to two kinds of people in this room. So hear the version that's yours and leave the one that's not. If you're earlier, if you're a beginner, if you are still, you're like, have looked up hitting your goals or doing the thing, starting the business, creating the content, or writing a book, or you hate your job and you're in the middle of the night and you've researched it, you've looked it up, you want to do it. And you're at the beginning though. You're still or maybe you have clients, or you love gardening, or you're doing the things and you're looking at, "Oh, how can I monetize that?" This is for you. Your daily mover is the activity, not money, not the result of money. You want to be able to have do the thing as your reward. Did you post the content? It doesn't matter if I have like 2 people on. I'm recording and this thing with like 3 people. That's not my activity is not the fact that no one showed up, or a very minimal people showed up. My activity is the fact that I hit the button and I'm doing it, right? That's my daily mover. How many pieces of content are you posting? How are you showing up? The conversations that you're having, pitches you're making. Your daily thing that you want to do, your daily task is reps, getting better. You're building the doing muscle and gathering your first data. It's all data. Now, if you're scaling, maybe you have an established business. You already have clients and revenue. Your needle mover is not more doing. It's building the machine. Your daily action might be reviewing your team's numbers, recording one training or a SOP, having one leadership conversation, or making the one delegation decision. Your daily method, your daily task is the CEO work. The stuff that only you can do that grows the business beyond your own 2 hands. If your DMO is still all task work, that's a sign you haven't stepped into the CEO seat yet, and that itself is your first needle mover. Same r Same framework, different fuel. The beginner's rhythm builds the skill. The scaler's rhythm builds the system. You both need your daily tasks, they're just different. And just make sure yours is pointed at your actual next level, not someone else's. I see so many people who get online and they watch all of the people online who's hit the goals and they want to do what they're doing. They want to do what they're doing. But sometimes that's not what you should be doing. So Renee has been on the last couple of weeks, and her biggest thing that she said is, when I have an obstacle, when I have an obstacle, how do I disrupt that? So let's talk about that. This part is for Renee and it's for everyone else as well. But disrupting the obstacle, let's say are you have a toddler. This is my example. I have a toddler. I am tired. I don't want to do the thing. I don't want to press the button. I don't want to record the content. I don't want to push it. And so how do I disrupt that? How do I disrupt that pattern that I keep start, stopping, start, stopping, start, stopping? So in part 1, if you haven't watched it, go to YouTube and we have a visualization in there. I had you see the obstacle in your day. The week in August, it gets hard. You flopped. No one showed up. No one did the thing. You have a sick kid. You're tired. We didn't deal with it then. We deal with it now. Because here's the truth, the women who hit their goals are not the ones without obstacles. We think it's so much easier for them over there. I can't do it because, and you list all of the reasons why you can't do it. But here's the thing, they have obstacles too. They have things that are stopping them too. Now, I granted not everyone's same 24 hours are in the day. There are some women who have teams, they have nannies, they have husbands, they're single moms. Everyone's obstacles look different. So don't get stuck on the obstacle is not for me, or I only have the obstacles. Everyone's obstacles look different. My cousin had told me one time where if everyone put their troubles in a circle, everyone would start taking theirs back. So get out. The one thing I had to reframe in my life is that only I struggle, because that's just not true. Everyone has their own problems that they have to deal with. Here's the thing. We have to be able to figure out in advance what we do when the obstacle comes up. An obstacle only stops you when it catches you by surprise, and you have to decide in the moment, because in the moment you're tired, you're emotional, you're overwhelmed. And that our brain, deep in our subconscious, self sabotages us. It shows up, it starts telling you, this is unsafe, this is scary, I don't like this over here, this is new. And so it pushes us back into those old patterns. And so this is when we have to stop that, because we've decided that we're going to stop that. So here's a disruptor exercise that I want you guys to be able to do. Right? Okay. Name your most likely obstacle. Let me know in the chat. What is your most likely obstacle? The specific one. And then write the if then that interrupts it before it turns the old pattern. So when my specific obstacle happens, instead of my old pattern, I will the new move. So when the launch flops, instead of spiraling and quitting for the week, I will do my minimum task and text my person. When I feel overwhelmed, instead of going silent and isolating, I will reach out, because going at it alone is the pattern I release. When I get the urge to start a new project, instead of chasing it, I will write it on a someday list and return to my one thing. Instead of Uber eating McDonald's, I will meal prep my stuff. So write out what you are going to do instead and name it and have an action plan for it. And for people who are actually building and actually doing something, your obstacles usually isn't, I don't feel like it. It's the fire, the client emergency, the team member who quits, the urgent thing that pulls you back into the weeds in your CEO work, the needle mover that actually grows the business, quietly gets dropped for you another week. Urgent but not important crowds out important but not urgent every single time. Unless you protect against it. So your disruptor sounds like, when a fire pulls at me, instead of dropping my CEO block to react, I will protect that block first and handle the fire after. Not everything is a fire. Not everything is a fire. You guard the important work before you open the inbox. The fires will always be there. Your growth work won't get done unless you fence it off on purpose, unless you prioritize it. Does that make sense? Let me know. And so that's how you have to start disrupting the pattern. You have to choose to. You have to choose to. I cannot make you do it. Not the willpower alone in the moment, with a decision made in advance. When you are calm and clear, that's waiting for you when the moment comes. The pattern only wins when it's improvising and you're not anymore. Tonight, you stop improvising. So now the rule that protects everything, because you will fall off. Everyone does. Falling off is not failure. Staying off is. So, you know the old pattern. You miss one day, the shame shows up, the shame writes a story. See, you always do this. The story becomes a decision. I'll restart Monday, and Monday becomes never. And one missed day quietly becomes a missed year, all because of a story you told about the missed day. A new rule, write it. Big, never miss twice. One missed day is data. Two missed days is a decision. And we don't make that decision anymore. No restart ceremonies. No, I'll start on Monday. No, I'll wait until July 1st. No, I'll wait until January 1st. You fall off Tuesday at 2 p.m., you're back on it at 2:05. The comeback speed is the discipline, not perfection, speed of return. The most consistent people I know aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who get back up the fastest. And here's the biggest thing I can tell you. I have to say something 100% for the people in this room who are earlier in their journey because it is hard. Still building because this is where most of you quit, and I refuse to let you. Here's what happens. You do the work, you show up daily for a while, nothing happens. No sales, no clients, crickets, you don't know what to do, you're overwhelmed. 50 people are telling you 50 different things to do. And your brain whispers, see, it's not working. You don't know what to do. It's not for you. It's for them. It's for those other people, not you. You're not good at sales. You don't know how to do the things. You're not good at this. So you quit. That value, the gap between where you start doing the work and when you see the results show up is where almost everyone gives up. Because I told you, I have been doing this for 7 years. I have seen a lot of people give up and quit. Not because the work is wrong, but because they were measuring the wrong thing. If you only celebrate the results, you will get 0 hits of motivation. You have to feed your brain dopamine. We're on the TikToks and the Instagrams, and everything is 30 seconds, and you can only watch something for 3 seconds at a time. We have to keep our brain, like, feeding for more, especially when you're in the exact season when you need it the most, when you're overwhelmed, when you're trying something new and it's not working. So, how do we do this? We have to celebrate the things that we are doing. Let's say you are wanting to have conversations and grow your audience. Well, did you send 20 DMs and have 20 conversations or follow 20 people or connect in the DMs with 20 people? That's a win. Celebrate it. You posted when you didn't feel like it. I'm about to hop off here and celebrate because I went live and that's exciting. And I don't like to do that. That's a win. You had a scary pitch conversation even though it didn't close. That's a huge win. That's a wrap. That's you doing something. And reps are the only thing that builds skill. The score isn't on the board yet, but you ran the play perfectly, and that is worth celebrating because that is the only part you can control. You can't control the outcome, but you can control what you input into it to get the outcome. So this is why we keep the evidence journal. Every night you're collecting proof that you did the input. So your brain gets the dopamine, it gets the wins, it gets the hits from you doing, not from waiting on the results. The entrepreneurs, the people who are trying to make a change, the content creators, the authors, the people who want to do something differently than working their 9 to 5, the ones who make it are the ones who learn to feel successful for doing the work before the work pays off. Fall in love with the reps, and the results become a matter of time. Quit because the reps felt unrewarded, and you'll never find out what was about to happen. There was this thing I saw, and on the recording, I'll put an image of it here. There's two mining, and you see the diamond on the other side, and they're mining and they're mining, and the one quits like right before they got to the diamond, and the other person hit it and they got the diamonds. And that's what happens to so many people when they're wanting to go after something, but they don't understand how the brain works and how new habits and it's so not what people teach online because it's not what gets people all excited and all overwhelming and or all happy and wanting to learn it. It's not the make $10,000 in your first 30 days. It's not the things because that's what people want to see, but that's not what gets you the result. What gets you result is the boring work that you have to show up and do. So if you're in that quiet valley, you're trying to have the new goals, you're trying to do the new things, you're trying to have a new life for yourself because you have ambition and you want more. Hear me now. A quiet July is not a failed July. It's a planted one. A tree, did you know that a tree grows both ways? A tree grows two ways. A tree grows down and into the dirt, and a tree grows up towards the sky. And you, before the tree, even if you see planted the seeds for the tree, but before you can even see the fruits of the tree, it has to dig its roots down. It has to go further down. It has to go deep into this ground. And that's such a huge win. And so many people will fall off because they don't see the growth underneath first. And they've been waiting for growth to happen. They've been waiting for things to move. But there's always been something growing and there's always been something moving. They just couldn't see it. And so they quit before the greatness happens. And that self-sabotage, that part of the brain that stops you because that's new and it's scary and it's not giving you exactly what you want. It makes you quit and it makes you stop. And the harvest has its own timeline. And it's not one that you can sit there and tell it when it's going to happen. The harvest is going to happen. You just have to keep watering. And so this is why this is so important to me because I've seen so many people give up. I've seen so many people give up on their dreams and the goals that they want to have because they keep telling themselves it's just not for me. When we haven't figured out how we just need to work with our biology versus against it. And it's your brain setting you up for failure. And so we have to shift that. And that's why this is so important because this is how I've completely shifted and changed my life. And it is how I want other people, I want to help and spread the word. I've had to pay a lot of money. I've paid over 50 grand in mentorships throughout the years. And these are the things that they teach behind those high ticket things. But I need to spread the word because it's so important. It's so important for people to know. Let's dive into environment. Your environment is so important. Why? Because if you are in a mood or you are not feeling like it, but you have a Teresa like me who is on your line and you call me up and you're like, hey, I'm not feeling like it. I'm going to give you a 15-minute pep talk. And then you're fired up and then you're going to go take action because we have to get the momentum. We have to have that momentum going to keep going. So, two pieces of architecture because we do not do this alone. We are getting off that start stop hamster wheel, and that's okay. Even if it's been 5 years, let's say you were gonna do something 5 years ago, and you didn't do anything, and you think it's too late. It's not. We just have to put that down. We're not that person anymore. So have 2 to 3 people in a pod. Call your friends. Don't call the people that's always complaining. Don't call the people that always has something to say or you're gonna do that again or whatever. We're not calling those people. We're calling the people that believe in you. We're calling you the people that are gonna pep you up. Put yourself in a pod. Have a Monday text, on track or off track. Give a little eyeballs and have people say 3 words back. Are you on track or off track? What do you need to do to get back on track? You have to reach out. You have to be able to move. We can't always blame everyone else for the things that we cannot accomplish or do. So, every single Wednesday, we hold our accountability call, and this is your on track or off track. What you be doing, right? And so, if you are watching the replay, recruit one person and be like, hey, I would love for you to just keep me accountable. And so, also another thing I would like for you to do, so you're gonna go and reach out to that one person. And if you want me to be your one person, let me know. Follow along. I will be that one person for you. Reach out to me. My DMs are open. So, the midpoint. Everybody, I want you to open your calendar. And in 6 weeks, I want you to book your Q3 halftime check. Roughly 6 weeks out, mid-August. And look at it. Are you on track? Are you about to hit those goals? Are you working towards those goals? Are you off track? Do we need to adjust? We're not waiting until the last day, right? So we have to look at those midday checks. Are we off track or on track? Quantum leapers don't wait until September 30th to see how the quarter went. We decide who we are becoming and we do the things that we are going to and say that we do. That is what this whole thing has been about. So I want you to have a declaration. I want you to say, what are you going to accomplish over the next 3 months? Declare it. Say it loud. Say it with your chest. What's the one thing that you're going to accomplish? January, you said you were going to do this one thing. You're going to create the content. You were going to write the book. You were going to do the YouTube. You were going to do the thing. What was that? Declare what that goal is. And then the way I move every single day as the person who is getting that goal, how are you moving every single day towards it? And when obstacles come up, when I'm feeling overwhelmed, when life is going through it, when I had a bad day, when life was gotten kind of shitty, when things just didn't go well, I will. And what is that? I walked you through everything on how we create those disruptors. How do we take what we don't figure out in the middle of the chaos, how we're going to get ourselves out of the chaos? It's like ants. If you know ants, ants when they are in summer season, they plan for winter. So ants go and get all of their foods for the winter months and they store it. And when they're in the winter months, they're planning for the summer. Ebbs and flows are going to happen. You're going to have the good and the bad. And so when you're in the good months, when you're in the good feeling, when you're in the good time, you plan for the bad. And when you're in that bad time and you're going through it, that's when you plan for the good. And that's how we have to, when we are in those good feelings, in that good headspace right now, that's when you plan for those obstacles to come up and how you're going to get through it. A goal in your head belongs to you. A goal spoken to a room belongs to your future. And you have to get out of all the negative self-talk and all the complaining and all the reasons why you can't. Oh my gosh, there's so many reasons why you can't do something. Tell me about it. I know. And so you have to say it, and then you have to look for the evidence that it is happening. You have to look for the things that are the positives. If you only focus on the negative, if you only focus on the bad, well, guess what? You're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to quit. Ask me how I know. That is how I quit for 6 months when I first started at the beginning. And so I want to land this whole series with the most important thing I know about quantum leaping. And U Squared is the perfect book. If you have not read U Squared, I highly, highly suggest it. Or Happy Pocket Full of Money. Those are both really good books on quantum leaping and hitting those goals that you want to hit. The leap doesn't come from working harder inside that old structure. We talked about it, the fly hitting itself up against the wall. Y'all, you complaining and not like just repeating it over and over and over and over again, you are the fly hitting yourself up against the wall thinking something else is going to happen. The work that you are not doing is the work that literally is the thing that's going to help you quantum leap. The leap doesn't come from working harder. It comes from stepping into a new one. It's the work you're not doing. It's the things you keep putting off and overwhelming, and it's all in your head, and you think about it, and you think about it, and you think about it, and it's over, and you're overwhelmed, and then you're stressed out, and I don't know what to do. Ask me how I know. I've gone through this so much. I'm going through it personally right now. And so here's the thing, is like you have to get it out of your head. First of all, you have to see it out. You have to know. You can't think about and trying to solve every single piece of this puzzle up the staircase. The staircase is gonna be foggy, and you're only gonna see those first couple of steps. And you have to, by God, you have to take those first steps. And you have to just understand that those steps are going to clear out. And they are. Clarity comes from action and movement, not before it. And as you think about, and this is how it all comes to me, and then this is how I'm gonna close it out. When you're thinking about this new thing that you wanna do, and you think, oh, you have all of these ideas in your head, and it's overwhelming, and it's all up in here. So we have to take it out of our head, and we have to put it in front of us. This is how my husband has walked me through this, okay? This is how it's helped me. So maybe it'll help you. You take it out of your head, you write it out. Okay, what are all the things you wanna do? Okay, you pick the one thing. This is all of the things that we've been walking through. You pick the one thing. Okay, here are the things I'm gonna do every single day. You're gonna okay, these are the things I'm gonna do every single day. And guess what? Guess what the magic next step is? You do the freaking things. You do the things. 'Cause it's so easy. Then 'cause this has been me before. This has been me before. Let me know if it's been you. You think about the things, and then you think about the things that could go wrong with the things and all the things. Okay, well, but what if this happens? But what if that happens? But oh my gosh, what if that over there happened? And you're trying to solve all of these make believe problems, and you make up all of these different scenarios in your head, and you make up all of these different things that aren't true because you have fear. Because you have fear, false evidence appearing real, we tell ourselves all of these negative things that are going to happen. And then we try to plan for them and plan for them and plan for them instead of just taking the action and doing the things that we said we were going to do. So this is how I'm personally working through that. So I only say all this to say that's because I have been through it. I'm actually doing the things. I'm actually working towards this currently. So we have this whole series has been around creating that new rhythm. We have to create that. It comes from stepping into that new one. And that's what we've been doing. Is making the plan, and then we follow the plan. We follow the plan. We follow the plan. We have to follow the new identity. We have to create that new rhythm. We have to have that new room. You have to put boundaries around yourself. And for 3 weeks, we've been doing this. We've been standing in this new structure. We've been creating the new structure. And if you're following along, and this is brand new for you, follow me on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. That is where all 3 of these series is. And if you don't know where to follow me on YouTube, it's at the Teresa Boyce. At the Teresa Boyce. And I have 1 and 2, and then this third one will be on there. And so here's the thing. My only question for you right now is whether you're gonna walk back in the old you, or are you gonna walk into the new one? You have the plan. We built the plan. You have the identity. You've created that. You have, after today, you have your daily tasks that you're gonna do every single day. The only variable left is the room you do it in. So if you are new to me, I'm Teresa Boyce. I run a business with my husband called Automate Your Hustle, CRM, where we help beginning entrepreneurs start and grow and scale their businesses with automation. And so we have every single Wednesday, which is today, we have our accountability call where we help you keep you on track. We have office hours where we help you do it every single day. Hop on, we answer your questions. We have our Friday tech and training calls because the number one objection and the struggles people have is I hate tech. I do not like tech. I'm not a tech person. Well, my husband is. I'm not. And so we have the we have the tech guru guy who helps you through every single thing and gets those questions answered for you. And we have a book club where we read these books. We've read U Squared. We've read a couple different ones. Right now we're reading Do the Work because we got to do the work. And so if you want to be able to have a seat at that table, if you want to be on calls like this every single Wednesday, if you want to have access to us in our community, well then reach out to me. If you are on the TikTok live, DM me and I'll get you the link. Or if you are watching the replay, the link will be in the description below. And join us. You get a 7-day free trial. You can watch us out and we would love to have you in there. And if you're on the fence, my hack said with love is you just watch yourself show up for 3 weeks in a row if you've watched the replays. You are the consistent person. The evidence exists. Don't hand the next 90 days back to the old you out of habit. We talked about our self-sabotage brain. We talked about what's going on in there that keeps us going back to the old us. So as we wrap up, look at what you did over the last 3 weeks. You released the first half of the year. That we don't know her no more. She doesn't matter. She's back there. You installed the new identity of who you're becoming. You built that one page. You planned out your whole Q3, quarter 3 of your business last week that you actually should be believing in. And tonight you built that daily system that carries you when motivation quits. So I want you to run this every single quarter. If you want to do this live with me next quarter, so starting in October, well, you have to be inside on your hustle because I'm going to be running this back again to plan out the end of the year quarter. Because we're not waiting until January to become her. You're quantum leaping at 4 times a year. We're becoming a new version of ourselves every 3 months, every single month. Shoot, I try to become a new version of myself every single day. So 4 becomings, 4 leaps. Do that for a year and you're going to be unrecognizable. This year is not half over. It is half open. Your money is it's on its way to find you. You have to declare, hey, I'm a 6-figure business owner. Hey, I'm a millionaire. And my money is on its way to me and I'm going to act accordingly. And now finally you'll be moving when it arrives. And so I just want to say I love you and proud of you and I'll see you next Wednesday. The second half is yours. Bye.